Hello and welcome to this Adobe Express lesson all about World War II. And today we're going to create a multi-page timeline of the key events of World War II. So from the Adobe Express homepage, we're going to scroll down and we're going to go to create a presentation. Now for this lesson, you will have been given a handout with all of the key events of World War II. And I can see here that my first key event is when Germany invaded Poland. So I'm just going to start by copying and pasting this first date and this first key event. So first of all, I think it'd be good to get a key historical person on our page, and I'm going to go for Adolf Hitler. So I'm going to go to Wikimedia Commons here, and I'm going to search for Adolf Hitler and see what we get. I think this one looks quite good, so I'm going to right click on the image here and go to copy image. I'm going to go back to Adobe Express, going to right click on the page, and I'm going to select paste. Now what I think I might do is remove the background of Hitler here, and I want to create a kind of collage effect across this whole timeline. So I'm going to select Hitler here, and I'm going to go for here where it says remove background. Brilliant, there we go. And now what I want to do is I think I want to demonstrate how Germany has invaded Poland, and that's what's caused the start of World War II. So I'm going to go to elements down here, and I'm going to search for Germany, and I'm going to see what I get. So here we go, we've got some good design assets. So just going to increase the size, put it somewhere here. And I'm going to do the same thing for Poland. And I can actually put them together. So there we go. I might just highlight both of these and then move them here. I'm also going to group them now that they're together, and I want them to stay together. So I want to demonstrate that Germany invades Poland. So I'm going to go back over to elements here. I'm on design assets, and I'm going to go for arrow. I quite like this hand-drawn looking one, so just going to put that, and just to demonstrate that Germany invades Poland, which causes the start of World War II. Just going to play with the font of our text here, so I'm just going to select the date and just have a little look for a font that I might like. There we go, just going to increase the size of the date, and now I'm just going to highlight the key event itself and find another font for that one. So there we go, I think we're looking pretty good. We've got our key date, we've got our key event, and we've also got some images which demonstrate what happened. Now I'm just going to add a few design elements now, so I'm just going to go for a background. I don't want anything too distracting or colourful, but we'll have a look. We'll go to element, backgrounds, and I might just go for, I don't know, paper. There we go, I think that looks pretty good. Now what I think I want to do is add a newspaper. It'll just go with our sort of collage style and theme that we're going for. I'm just going to go to media, photos, and I'm going to see if we can get a nice picture of a newspaper. Just going to increase the size of it, and also think about where it's going to go in the layers. So if I open up my layer stack here, I'm just going to drag this down so it's just over the background. And now what I'm going to do is play with the opacity. So I might even add a blend mode. So here we go. If we go to multiply, and what it's done is it's blended the newspaper with that background we chose. And I can just reduce the opacity just so this effect is a lot more subtle. So we're just going to go for a few more stylistic touches. And what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to add some shadows behind some of these elements, and it'll just make them pop off the page like a collage. So I'm just going to select Adolf Hitler here, going to go to effects, just try a little, adding a little shadow there, a lift. And I'm going to do the same thing for these ones. So there's Germany, we're going to get Poland, add a shadow to that. Now what we also want to do is I want something that's going to make this text stand out a bit, almost like it's some sort of label over it. So I'm going to go to elements over here. I'm going to scroll along to shapes, and I want a parallelogram. There we go. And I'm going to go for this one here, this parallelogram, and just pull it across like that. Now I am going to change the color of it, and what I want to do again is on my layers, I want to bring this parallelogram to behind my text. Now another thing I might just play around with doing is the border style. So at the moment it doesn't have a border style, this parallelogram, but if we go to view all, and I'm just going to go for a dashed line. I think that looks really neat. Final little touches, I think I'm going to colorize this photo. I'm just going to add a single color, so I'm going to go to effects, and I've got colorize here, and I can press it a few times. That looks pretty good. Might also add a color punch there on the filter just to bring that yellow out nicely. But what I'm also going to do is just add a little dotted line with an arrow. That's sort of the kind of thing you'd see with like a military strategy. So I'm going to go to Elements and I'm going to type dotted arrow and I'm going to see what I get. This one looks pretty good and I'm just going to add it up here. So I think that's looking pretty good. Now at the bottom down here, I could press add page and it will add a blank page. That's fine. Or I could duplicate this page, so I could make a copy of this page and then I could edit it for that second date. So there you go. You can now work through the rest of your key dates and when you're finally ready, you can actually press present at the top because it's like a presentation and you can actually switch through each of your key events of World War II. So there you go. That's how you create a multi-page timeline of key events from World War II. And now it's your turn to create your own timeline.